Hello Facebook ads people, I'm Konstantinos and this is the Facebook ads breaking news podcast. Hi guys, it's podcast 100. Hooray, well done, we have made it. We are doing podcasts now for 2 years almost. And I'm very happy that we reached number 100. I hope that at some point we're going to reach number 1000. Most likely in 2026 we're going to have new things coming, which is a podcast with some of my friends that they do also Facebook ads in the new studio that you all have heard about. So for podcast number 100, I would like to present to you a new thing that I'm using the AI technology. Basically it's called the review cluster analysis. It's something that I haven't thought on my own. It's something that Jonathan came up with. We used to have an old video, if you remember, that it was about the pain point method and the different angles that you can have, which is pairing really well with the loop theory, which came later. And we have explained why in ad accounts you cannot scale and the one campaign is cannibalizing the other. And we have seen the different angles. And the pain point method, you can see the video is there. I will make a video also about the review cluster analysis. It was how you can find different angles as pain points. So explaining how the product is helping you to this angle or this angle. For example, if you are having, let's say, for example, you're having a fragrance, you can see that you're using it for socializing. So this is one pain point. The other thing that you can use it for is to find a girlfriend, which is about another angle, and so on and so on. And for example, there are so many pheromone fragrances or whatever, or colognes, I don't know the difference, to be honest with you, that they are showing that because of the pheromones women are going to find you more attractive and all of that. So this is a selling point, it's a pain point, you're solving a problem. Maybe you are ugly, but because you're wearing a pheromone fragrance, you're going to be able to find a girlfriend or some company for the night, maybe, all of that. Anyway, the review cluster analysis, it's a little bit different and not every brand can actually do it. Basically, it's all about having a lot of reviews, putting them all together in a CSV file, and then asking from ChatGPT. Of course, you will go to ChatGPT, you will explain that this is the brand, this is what they do. Take this CSV file of all of the reviews that they have, just group them together, start making clusters of different reviews that they talk about different things, and start presenting to me different angles and 5 hooks for each of these angles. So basically what you're doing is that a lot of times, and in the example that I will show also on YouTube, there was one brand that had a fragrance, and basically they didn't know that the fragrance had a unisex appeal. So basically we could start selling both to men and women, but at the end of the day we didn't know that. And because of the clusters of reviews, we have seen that now we can start actually doing that, because we have seen that in one of the different angles there has been one that says it has a unisex appeal, and this is something that the company didn't know, and they could start utilizing it just because of the analysis that we have done. And to be honest with you, the analysis was correct. We started having sales also from women, while the fragrance was actually for men. So there are a lot of things that the companies think that they know about their product, but they don't understand all of the different things that they can learn from reviews, and of course customer support and the emails that they get from things that they need to fix. For example, if you see, a lot of times we see on the reviews, for example, or in a question on the customer support, hey, I live in France, am I going to pay customs, for example, for that? Or now with the situation that we have with tariffs, am I going to pay extra to receive the product, blah, blah. Maybe this is something that you can use into your hook or somewhere else in order for you to remove the objections from people that they want to buy the product. So this is one major thing that we're doing with the review cluster analysis. All of the things, so someone might write, I thought that this item would be really difficult to clean. but I realized that it's very easy to clean. So you can use this as a selling point by just saying that it's easy to clean and all of that, because that means that if someone is writing on a review something, it means that there are more people that they are thinking, is it going to be easy to clean? Okay, so all of this is going to help you find different angles, and in the way that I teach Facebook ads with multiple campaigns and different angles that you're scaling and all of that, I think that this is going to be a very nice tool for you to use. Of course, I'm going to make also a video about it, which I'm going to explain it by going into my PC and showing you how it's going to look. That's it about the review cluster analysis, so wait for the video, I guess, when it's going to come out, but you already took an idea of what you should do. If you have reviews, just go and do it, or maybe you can take reviews from a competitor who's doing exactly the same as you, and so on. Now, if you are putting fake reviews, I wouldn't suggest you to do it because they're fake. They're not coming from actual data, so maybe you're going to give to ChatGPT all of these fake reviews, but it doesn't mean that you're going to get something which is coming from actual data in order for you to be able to utilize as an angle. If you are not having reviews, just go to the simple pain point method, which is kind of the same. The difference here is that we are using actual reviews and actual opinions of people using the product, and this is how we know if we can find other angles. And of course, we're using the hooks, but not only in the copy. You're going to use also the hook into your videos and stuff, because we live in an era that the copy is important, but not only the copy that you use into your primary text and headline, but also the copy that you use inside your ads, because the copywriting right now, if you think that it's only the copy that you put, no, the art of copywriting also involves the copy that you're going to put on your creatives, images or videos. The next thing that I want to discuss about today is what happened with the tariffs. We can see that there are a lot of people that they're asking, are we going to have problems with the tariffs? Is it going to be expensive to advertise in the United States? And the first message is that I'm getting from experienced dropshippers and stuff is that it's not going to impact them a lot. It's just a small increase. There has been one temporarily stop of the tariffs. So a lot of people actually in the previous weekend, they have fulfilled a lot of orders in order for them not to pay tariffs. But in general, as far as I can see, it doesn't look like dropshipping, for example, is not going to be sustainable anymore in the United States and all of that. I think that we still haven't seen the full potential of it. So we will know later about it. Next thing that I want to discuss is it's a little bit about the health and wellness and all the madness that it is out there. I have made also a YouTube video which is going to come maybe next week explaining, but in the podcast we have always more updated information. Let me tell you what I believe that is happening over here. So what did we know so far? I told you in the previous podcast that I didn't want to go into a crazy state of saying, oh my God, what are we going to do? We are doomed. And because I know that Facebook might announce something and nothing might happen. For example, I had the situation with the Pixel that they said that it was going to be removed and it has never been removed. And I still have a video on YouTube that I'm saying that everybody says that it's going to be removed, but it wasn't. And it's a little bit embarrassing. So whenever Meta is announcing something, I'm just waiting to see what is going to happen without really caring about speculating what is going to happen. First of all, we had the health and wellness and they said that they're going to remove the possibility of you having a health and wellness brand and be able to do purchase events and even add to carts, initiate checkout. So you would be able to do only traffic ads and send people to the site, and I think that you couldn't even do lead events. So the problem is that what is health and wellness? First of all, as I said in a previous podcast, is it going to be all the makeup companies? Is it going to be just a supplement brand? Is it going to be a brand that is having a product about snoring? Everything is health and wellness, okay? Even food can be health and wellness if we talk about healthy food and your health and wellness. Health and wellness can be depending on how you sell it, a yoga lesson or a lesson about insomnia. Okay, all of these things can be health and wellness. So first of all, they never categorized and they never said to us what is health and wellness and how they're going to categorize it. Secondly, who is going to do all of this categorization? An AI program? Is it going to be people? Who is going to review the people that are going to say we're not health and wellness, and all of the people in their accounts that they might be disabled or get under a special category, I guess. Nobody said anything about that. So I think that I know what happened, and I'm not sure yet, of course, but we will see in the next 30 or 60 days how this is going to unravel. But like every big company, I think that the solution came from the common sense. What is the common sense? The legal team is coming and saying, okay, we have so many cases that people are suing Meta for allowing these advertisers to advertise. Okay, and we have so many companies which are on health and wellness, which are bringing a lot of revenue. Perfect. How can we find a middle solution? Well, I think that the solution that they found was flagging companies that are health and wellness. Of course, not all of them. Some of them, which are very old customers and stuff, they haven't been impacted. I know some. And by flagging people with the core setup on into your settings on your Pixel, saying that they're going to restrict your data, giving you less quality traffic, increasing your CPMs. What is it going to happen if we have, for example, let's put stupid numbers. Let's say that we have 5,000 companies that they are health and wellness. And then we are increasing the CPM. Instead of them getting 80 in average, we are taking it to 120. What do you think that's going to happen? I think it's a win-win for both the legal department and the Department of Revenue. Why? Because all the companies that they are really close to break even or they don't have really friendly numbers and all of that, Facebook advertisement cost is going to be higher, which means that they're going to stop advertising. So who wins in that case? In that case, the legal department is having less health and wellness companies, it's more regulated, and they are able to have less cases and maybe it's profitable again. Secondly, the big companies that they're actually spending a lot of money or they have better numbers, they are going to continue advertising even if it's going to be more expensive, and they're going to make more money, but maybe they're going to replenish the budget that the others left because they couldn't advertise with 120, which is our example, CPM. That means that the revenue is not going to drop that drastically in the same way that it was going to drop if we were going to just remove all the health and wellness companies from Meta, but it's going to be less companies advertising with less competition, better profit margins, better growth, see it on another way and all of that, and less legal cases, not only because we're going to have less health and wellness companies, but because the companies that are going to stay, they're going to be better, having better product, blah, 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 blah. So it's going to be also better companies staying, which means that there's going to be less suing to Meta for leaving these companies to advertise. So what do we have here? A win-win. We increase the CPM to this category. We let them continue running ads for purchases. The ones that they don't have friendly numbers, they're going to leave the platform. The ones that they have good numbers or they spend a lot, they're going to stay. Our revenue stays the same. We have less cases of suing to the legal team. Everybody is happy. Who is not happy? The smaller companies that are going to lose the opportunity of advertising to the Meta platform. But this is how the capitalism system is actually working. The bigger companies are going to take the biggest share of the pie. So I think that this is what is happening right now with health and wellness. I'm not seeing any drastic actions like limiting, for example, one company. I know a lot of people, I have a lot of students, I have a YouTube channel. People are not sending me a message telling me I have a health and wellness company and I cannot do purchase events anymore. My advice to you, if you have a health and wellness, first of all, because we go into a battle right now, try to have the best possible numbers that you can with profit margins and all of that, because it's going to be really difficult from now on. The second thing is try to see if you can market your product in another way that's not going to be health and wellness, but this is difficult. And number three, just try to know if you ever see an option for a special category, just never take it, okay? It's like housing, for example. or employment ads and stuff, that there are special categories. In these cases, I can tell you that if an ad account is getting not flagged, but if an ad account starts running ads as a special category, it never goes back to normal results, and then you are having the special category effect to the ad account. So if there is going to be at some point a special category, just don't take it. Try to work without it, and we will see how it's going to go, because it's Meta's fault, all of this, and the fact that I'm even discussing it here and I'm speculating, it's Meta's fault because they're not clear on what they want to do. Because I believe that they don't know what they're going to do, because it's a very difficult equation to be sued in one case and lose a lot of money from the legal team coming the information, or to lose money because of the revenue that you're losing from companies not being able to advertise as health and wellness, and then your stock is actually plummeting. So it's a mix of things, and I think that if it continues like this, eventually we are going to have a new balance with good companies and bad companies, that they're going to stay. Some of those are going to advertise, some of those are not, and Meta wouldn't have to do anything else just to save that. Or maybe I'm completely wrong, and Meta is going to come and it's going to regulate everything, and it's going to put new things over there. But until I see it, I believe that this situation right now, with companies leaving or companies having higher CPM and losing and stopping, it's one thing that is going to help them do a smooth transition to less health and wellness companies and less trouble with the legal team. Now, last topic about today, it's the new changes that we have for the ASC campaigns, or as Meta said, new streamlined Advantage Plus campaign. We're going to start seeing more things like lead generation and other events coming, like sales up and all of that, which is something that we wanted, especially on lead generation, to have ASC campaigns also there. It's going to have the same prompt over here, having Advanced Plus shopping. I think they are going to call it Advantage Sales Campaign now instead of Advantage Shopping Campaign. They will call it Advantage Sales Campaign. Thank God, because we call them ASC, so still ASC is going to be valid. Not like the CBO campaigns that they have 500 videos calling them CBO, which means campaign budget optimization, and now they call it Advantage Plus, Advanced Plus budget, for example. But everybody knows what is CBO and ABO. So the initial choice is going to be now made for us. When creating a campaign using the sales app or leads, the objective at Advantage Plus will be on by default. This is something that it was always there. And then we're going to have some things that we will be able to touch, like the Advanced Plus audience, Advanced Plus placements, and Advantage Plus campaign budget. Of course, let me tell you that the targeting options was something that a lot of people were asking from Meta. And I believe that the reason is that they have seen that, and I have seen also, that ASC campaigns are not working in new ad accounts. And in new ad accounts, we need to do some targeting options like interest and then lookalikes until we go to broad, which is eventually our target to go to broad, but it wasn't enough. And this has been causing people not to use ASC campaigns just because they cannot do targeting over there with interest or lookalikes. So this is going to change, and you will have the option, like the normal campaign, to switch to original audience and stuff. At least this is what they have announced, which we will see how it's going to work, and if it's going to work well in ASC. Of course, we will have to test it, but for sure I know that there are a lot of brands that they cannot use ASC just because of targeting. It's broad, it's more expensive on the CPM, until they train their pixel, and then they use ASC eventually later. Maybe they can start immediately with ASC if they have some better control to the targeting right now. Now, a little bit about the structure. They are changing the structure again. I don't know if you remember, in the previous spring we had the structure that we were having. Now we have campaign and ad set being the same, and then all the ads. They're changing the structure again, as they say, and it's going to be campaign, ad set, and ad, which means that you are going to be able to use several ad sets. I'm kind of against that. I don't like it because I have seen that it was really bad when it was first launched in the previous spring. But maybe that means that we will start seeing again crazy method ASC campaigns. We will see, because whatever you can have multiple ad sets on, you can go for multiple hot pockets, and maybe I will start doing crazy method ASC this time. The first time that it was implemented in the previous spring, when they also implemented the audience segments and all of that, it was a total failure. The campaigns were not working at all with multiple ad sets. The other thing that they want to change is that they're changing the limit of the ads. Now we could do up to 150 ads. Not that I have ever done 150 ads, it's not needed for sure. And they're going to do now less ads, which is going to be 50 ads per ad set, which is a normal one. I think there is also a limitation for 50 ad sets per campaign, but for sure there are way too many to do something like that. But for sure it's going to be 50 ads per ad set, and we're going to have this campaign ad set or ad sets and the ads that each ad set is going to have. I'm going to stick with a traditional one. Of course, I'm going to do my tests. Of course, I'm going to do a crazy method, but still, I do believe that based on my previous experience that the normal one it's going to work better. That being said, most likely you will be able to do ASC campaigns as ABO or also as CBOs, and we will see about that also. Advanced Plus Audience, it's going to be available, and you're going to be able to do custom audience exclusions also. And there's another thing which is very important. The existing customer budget cap is going to be removed. It makes total sense to me for many reasons. So first of all, I have used it in several cases, and I could see that even when I put, for example, 20%, it wasn't respecting it. It was doing whatever it wanted. Okay. The second thing that I have seen about it is that I don't like to exclude past customers from my campaigns, and I have videos also coming about that. Also in the course, I have made some very good videos explaining it with live accounts from people that they have excluded past customers and how bad were the results comparing to when they were having they were not excluding anyone. And the reason I believe is this, is after iOS we have a very big problem with the data that we have within the platform. So instead of having X amount of data, we have X amount of data minus whatever. We were able to target before many more people. Now we're able to target less and less people. But that means also that these less people are sending less data within the platform. So in each one of our ad sets, now we are ending up optimizing with less data comparing to the previous period that we were optimizing with more data. And this is a big problem because Facebook is a platform that's working with data and consistent sales based on the data that it gets from the previous sale and the previous sales and the previous sales. And then it forms the hot pockets and all of the things that we discussed in the channel. So I think that the very big issue that we have is that we have less data. So excluding past customers and traffic also, it's like we're shooting to our feet. So in my opinion, in order for you to be able to do to have better results, you should not exclude past customers, and especially if you have repeated customers and past traffic or people who engage with social media, because some people might say that you want to have only fresh sales from Facebook. But by just having more data, even from sales that Facebook is stealing from email, SMS, from Google, then you're having more data, and it's easier for Facebook to find more new customers like this because it's based on more data. If you're just removing data, and this is the big difference of ASC campaign. The ASC campaign started immediately with 20% retargeting, and we know that it's starting from retargeting, first from retargeting and then moves to the cold traffic. The reason that it was a huge success comparing to any other thing that we have seen in Meta, the reason for that it was that it started using immediately retargeting. And I have seen that when you're using retargeting on your cold traffic ads, it's better comparing of using zero retargeting into your cold traffic ads, because with the more data, you're going to get more clients. Now, some people might say that, yes, but You're having also the data from the retargeting, you're having also the data of some new clients, but this doesn't mean that the cost per purchase of new clients is better from a campaign that is having, it's excluding everyone and you're just having a cost per purchase which is higher. Maybe this is the cost per purchase that you get for a new client which is coming to your brand. Let me tell you that from my experience and from the other accounts that I'm working with, running ads with exclusions, it gives you, let's say, X cost per purchase for someone who is a new customer. But when you put inside also retargeting data, the cost per purchase of new client, if you can measure it, you will see that it's cheaper from the campaigns that they're just giving you new clients only without utilizing retargeting data. So I believe this is the reason that they're just removing that, because even on CBOs now we see more and more retargeting being used, and the reason is not because Meta wants to show you a good dashboard so that you can be happy and all of that. It's because they truly believe that even if it's data that they're not theirs, okay, and they come inside and they help in the optimization process and to get more purchases, they want it. This is why we have also the shops right now, because they want to keep the data within the platform, because it's helping it having more sales and controlling more the data so that they can be used again and again and again to find you fresh customers. On the other hand, let me tell you that I do believe that e-commerce is not just like for the first sales. Facebook is a growth platform. It's not a platform that was built in order to just give you only fresh sales. It's a growth platform that it helps you grow your audience and eventually have more repeated customers and all of that. But the point over here is not just to remove data just because you want to feel good about having new customers. Let me tell you that the more data you give, the more customers you're going to get in a better cost per acquisition, comparing to not giving all the data that you can. That's why I believe that they're removing the existing customer budget cap. That's why I believe also that you should not exclude past customers. If you are now one of the cases that you have to exclude because you're just having one item that you're not going to sell all over again, my answer still is going to be the same, that you should find another item that you will be able to upsell to the people that are buying already. But if you don't want to do it, you can exclude the people who purchase, but at least don't exclude the people who visit your website, the people who have been into your social media and they have engaged with your ads. That's why it's being removed. Also because Meta never respected it when you break down to the audience segments. By the way, these audience segments and the audiences that you are adding there, let me tell you that for some reason they're resetting the campaigns. I have seen this in the previous spring. So I'm trying not to touch them into the ad account settings to put the audience segments, because I believe that somehow they are ruining the campaigns and they are not stopping the optimization, they are resetting them. The reason that I'm saying this is I have other people also saying this to me, but my experience with it was that the moment that I have put it in other accounts, the different audience segments and the different audience of existing customers or engaged audience, I have seen that all of my leading ads in ASC campaigns have reset it, and other ads that were trying to become leading ads and stuff just instantly in all of the campaigns. And this is what led me to believe that something happened over there and they lost optimization. And I believe this is the reason. That's why I'm not touching it. Also, it's just for reporting over there, just so that you can see how many people they are being retargeted or how many people they are existing customers. And for that reason, in another account that it's doing fine, I'm not adding them because I'm afraid that it's going to reset my campaigns. This is coming from my personal experience. I cannot justify why it's happening or if it's happening 100%. But for sure, I can tell you that there are other people that they see it. That's why I don't want to do it. So whenever you are updating your audiences there, be careful and just check if your campaigns are continuing doing okay. Last thing, nothing really important, but for the lead generation, for example, are we going to just see only ASC campaigns with lead generation for website? what is it going to happen with instant forms, what is it going to happen with other things that we have within Meta. Maybe this is something that Meta is going to reply later on, but I think that it's a start. To be honest with you, some changes are good, like the existing budget customer cap or even the targeting on ASC. I just don't see the reason of also the lead generation. For example, listen to this. You're doing lead generation, okay? A lot of companies are having local targeting for lead generation. For example, you're doing lead generation only on Chicago. What's the point of giving them the option to do lead generation ASC ads when they're not going to be able to target only Chicago? This is why I believe that the targeting option is really important. Now, the last thing with having multiple ad sets and all of that, I don't think that it's going to be nice unless if they have worked with the algorithm, they make it better and now it's going to work better. For sure, if this happens, expect to see crazy method ASC, 100% I'm going to do them, and we will see how that will go. Now, last thing is that the opportunity score is coming back. I don't care about this. I consider this the same thing as the learning phase and all of that. It's just another gamification to make you feel like you are a good boy, that you're completing your tasks within the ads manager so that they can push you to spend more, or they can push the things that they want you to use in order to train their algorithm more. These are the topics for today. I hope that you liked. In podcast 100, at least we talked also for a lot of other things, and we're going to go now into your questions and see what you have asked for this week. Let's start with this one. It looks, if you lower the budget on ABO or CBO campaigns, does each one react differently to the budget reduction? Yeah, it's a different thing. So if you, on ABO campaigns, you're having dominant ads, basically. So if you're having dominant ads, that means that mostly one ad is going to be affected by lowering the budget. If it's taking 90% of the budget, so it's going to you're going to see that. But on CBOs, you're having distribution between ad sets. That means that you have found a balance after optimization, and maybe by lowering the budget, you are disturbing this balance, and maybe you will have to close ad sets, or you will need to find a new balance with another ad set which is going to become the leading ad now with a lower budget, and so on. So for sure they are having completely different behavior based on the reduction of the budget. The same thing is happening also on increasing the budget. For example, is it easier to scale down ABOs while CBOs are more fragile? This is what I said earlier. Basically, CBOs are more fragile. That's why a lot of times when you're working with multiple campaigns and you have a lot of CBOs, you can see that you are being affected more into bad periods comparing to having only ASC campaigns. I have videos on YouTube explaining why I like to work with averages and stuff, and explaining also that. Also, since lowering spend typically improves efficiency, do you recommend increasing the budget back to its original level after seeing better results? 100%. But again, if you're working with CBO campaigns, it's going to be more difficult. If you're working with ASC, it's going to be much more easy. Would this impact a hot pocket, or there is no risk in scaling back? There is always risk in scaling. The scaling and risk go together, okay? Even if you were in a previous budget before, it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to do it just like that, you know? But let me tell you that it's less risky, if you want to call it like this, when you do it with ASC campaigns. But with CBO campaigns, by increasing the budget, you have again a disturbance to the balance between the ad sets and all of that. Even if you have a dominant ad set, still it's not so dominant as the ads are on an ABO with one ad set. Hey Konstantinos, of course I'm talking about CBO and ABO. In CBO, I'm talking about CBO that has several ad sets active, okay? Not a CBO which is running with one ad set, because then it's like an ABO. Hey Konstantinos, currently I have a CBO with one ad set, and I scaled to 500 budget and it's performing worse. I scaled back to 400 and it's better now. My CPA is 29. Should I add ad sets into the CBO to revive it? Crazy method. This is not a crazy method. In general, you should not add ad sets inside CBOs. Since it's working better to 400, just leave it on 400 and don't touch it. Just work with another campaign, okay? This channel is not about teaching you how to increase the budgets in your existing campaigns, because I don't believe in that, okay? I believe in working with multiple campaigns, average results, and different angles into your creatives, daily loop theory, and all of that. In general, if something is working in Meta, don't touch it. Work with something new, because it doesn't mean that you will be able to go back to what it was working. Here you were lucky with decreasing to 400 and working, so take it as a win and move on to new campaigns. Guys, that was the podcast for today. Sorry for my coughing from time to time. I'm feeling a little bit sick, but I think I was able to make it, and I will see you guys on the next one. This is the end of the first part of the Facebook Ads Breaking News podcast. If you don't want to miss the second half of the podcast, where I'm answering all the remaining questions of the week, visit my Patreon page following the link on the description. This was the Facebook Ads Breaking News podcast. Like it or not, it is what it is.